At the entrance of a restaurant in Wuhu City, China, an elderly woman was spotted collecting waste oil.
Are you absolutely sure that what you're eating every day is completely safe? Or is it possible that you are unknowingly poisoning your entire family with some of the dirtiest products from China? Hazardous goods that are openly sold right on the shelves of Walmart. From dried fruits soaked in dangerous preservatives that may cause cancer, to tilapia farmed in polluted water and injected with growth hormones, all of it could be silently making its way into your daily meals. In today's video, we are going to uncover the chilling truth behind products from China that have been accused of being filthy, low quality, and even harmful to health. Yet they continue to flood Walmart, one of the most trusted supermarket chains for millions of Americans. Make sure to watch until the end of the video, because product number 10 is something that nearly 90% of Americans still eat every single day without even realizing it. Some recent reports causing widespread concern have revealed that many products originating from China are appearing extensively across major supermarket chains in the United States, including Walmart. One particularly alarming case involves a type of plastic rice made from a mixture of potatoes, sweet potatoes, and a synthetic compound with a structure similar to industrial plastic. According to several international media reports, this rice does not soften when cooked, but instead retains an unusually hard texture, is difficult to digest, and poses potential health risks. Some sources suggest that the root cause lies in the growing demand for Wuchang rice, a highly regarded specialty rice in China. Due to the significant profit margin, certain manufacturers have started producing counterfeit versions to mix with real rice. These fake grains are shaped to mimic traditional rice and sprayed with artificial flavoring to deceive consumers. It is estimated that while the actual output from the Wuchang rice-producing region is around 800,000 tons, the amount sold on the market exceeds 10 million tons per year, a figure that raises serious doubts. Indian media, specifically the Times of India, reported that the Delhi High Court has scheduled a hearing related to the inspection of rice imported from China. In the Philippines, authorities have also launched an investigation after discovering imported rice with abnormal texture characteristics. According to several health experts, consuming plastic can lead to serious effects on the digestive and endocrine systems, as certain compounds such as BPA or phthalates, commonly found in synthetic plastics, have the potential to disrupt hormones and impact reproductive health. Beyond rice, some previous sources have also mentioned counterfeit meat products or those containing banned substances like clenbuterol, a drug once used in livestock farming that has been prohibited in many countries due to its health risks. One of the most severe incidents on record was the scandal involving melamine-tainted infant formula, which was believed to be the cause of infant deaths in China. Although Wuchang rice has not been officially reported in the North American market, carefully checking the origin and choosing safe products, such as organic rice, or those with clear certification, remains essential for cautious consumers. Just when you think rice made from plastic is the pinnacle of culinary deception, modern cooking continues to surprise with even more bizarre transformations. Let's turn our attention to a seemingly harmless ingredient that could leave you stunned once you learn the truth hidden beneath its surface. In recent years, information regarding the origin and quality of garlic imported from China has become a hot topic on clean food forums and public health discussions. According to data from 2015, the United States imported approximately 138 million pounds of garlic, most of which was labeled as organic. However, several experts in the agricultural industry have expressed concerns about the production processes of this garlic. According to numerous international news outlets, garlic from China often undergoes special processing steps. First, it may be bleached to give it a whiter and cleaner appearance. Some reports indicate that the garlic is also sterilized with methyl bromide, a substance that has been flagged for its potential to affect the nervous and respiratory systems when exposed in high doses. Several sources have also mentioned that wastewater, including domestic sewage, might be used for irrigation in order to cut costs. Additionally, some food testing experts have stated that garlic imported from certain regions may contain traces of heavy metals, pesticide residues, and industrial chemicals. These substances, if accumulated in the body over time, could negatively affect consumer health. While it cannot be confirmed that all batches of garlic have such issues, consumers are still advised to exercise caution when choosing their food. Garlic is one of the most beneficial foods for the human body. Studies have shown that the compound allicin found in garlic helps support the immune system, regulate blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, and act as a natural antibiotic. However, for these benefits to be fully realized, the quality of the ingredient must be absolutely guaranteed. According to some sources, the United States has previously launched investigations into the production and importation of garlic due to suspicions related to unregulated labor practices and substandard production conditions. A spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs once responded to the issue with humor, stating that garlic could not possibly pose a threat to any country. Nevertheless, the story continues to attract attention amid growing consumer interest in clean food and clear product origins. Therefore, the best way to protect yourself and your family is to choose products with transparent origins, prioritizing garlic grown locally or sourced from strictly verified suppliers. If garlic makes you uneasy because it looks unnaturally white, then brace yourself for a shock beneath the water's surface. Because it's not only what grows from the soil that gets magically altered, but also what swims in ponds, and tilapia is the perfect example. Tilapia is one of the most popular types of seafood on the market today, thanks to its low cost and versatility in cooking. According to the latest statistics, more than 3/4 of the tilapia consumed in the United States over the past year came from China, with a total volume reaching approximately 382 million pounds. Notably, most of the fish is raised in industrial farms, where care procedures and farming environments have sparked significant controversy. Several reports from the Center for Food Safety have revealed that in many cases, tilapia are fed with a mixture containing animal waste. This information has surfaced in independent investigations aimed at clarifying the food supply chain. To minimize the risk of disease transmission, farms must use large doses of antibiotics, including substances that are banned in China. A warning issued by the US Food and Drug Administration in May 2024 highlighted the presence of chloramphenicol in a batch of imported fish from Hainan Eternal Springs Company, a substance once used to treat infections but now restricted due to its severe health risks. In addition, according to a former food hygiene inspector who appeared in a television documentary, fish farming conditions in certain regions of China do not meet sanitary standards. He recounted having witnessed fish being raised in polluted water, with an overwhelming stench in the air so intense that even the processing workers had to wear masks to avoid nausea. After harvest, The fish are treated with coloring agents and artificial flavorings, then packaged and exported to international markets. Several articles from specialized news sites have also advised consumers to think carefully when purchasing frozen fish labeled farm-raised or product of China. While it is not possible to generalize the entire supply, clear traceability is still considered an essential step to protect the health of oneself and one's family. When fish are forced to live among their own waste, one might think all limits have already been crossed. But no, the next act in this chemical feast comes from the land, involving a species long considered a symbol of healthy eating. In 2013, the United States Department of Agriculture approved a policy allowing chicken meat to be processed in other countries before returning to the domestic market. According to several sources published on reputable news platforms, this means that poultry raised in the US can be shipped abroad for preliminary processing, then returned and sold in major supermarket chains, including Walmart. Specifically, since 2015, according to information from the United States Department of Agriculture, several processing plants in China have been authorized to handle chicken raised in the United States. After slaughter, the meat is shipped to China for packaging and processing, then transported back to the US. Throughout the entire process, there is no requirement for US inspectors to be present at the overseas facilities. This has raised concerns among many food safety experts regarding the ability to monitor quality and ensure safety conditions at the receiving facilities. Some opinions published in food safety columns have also pointed out that the lack of mandatory labeling specifying the country of processing on product packaging may lead consumers to misunderstand the true origin of the meat they are consuming. Although raised domestically, once the meat undergoes processing abroad, the quality of the final product may be affected by environmental factors, handling methods, and sanitation conditions. In addition to concerns about quality, some reports have also touched upon the issue of labor costs. According to data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, poultry processing workers in the United States earn an average of about $11 per hour. Meanwhile, according to several international news sources, the income of workers at similar facilities in China may range from only $1 to $2 per hour. This disparity is believed to be the main reason why many companies opt for overseas processing solutions. Just when it seemed that chicken had reached peak drama with its international round-trip journey and neatly packaged return, the curtain falls on the farm only to rise again in icy waters, where a fish long seen as a symbol of purity is now facing contamination. When people think of cod, many often picture fishermen from the northeastern United States heading out to sea each day, catching fish from the frigid waters and bringing them back to port as part of a long-standing tradition. However, according to several trade reports and government-released import statistics, the reality is far from that idyllic image. More than half of the cod consumed in the United States today originates from China, where the majority of the product is not wild-caught, but instead raised in industrial pond systems. According to information from several international food safety research organizations, a portion of cod is farmed in environments with poor water circulation, leading to a high likelihood that the fish live in water contaminated with large amounts of waste. This has raised concerns about the quality and safety of imported seafood products, especially when compared to wild-caught cod from regions such as the North Atlantic. The differences in freshness and potential health risks are immediately apparent. A few experts in the seafood processing industry have shared that cod from farming areas with poor controls, may contain undesirable residues. This has led many consumers to think more carefully before making their selection. While the price of cod imported from China is typically lower, this often comes with the drawback that buyers may not be fully informed about the farming, processing, or food safety control measures used. Some articles on reputable health websites suggest that if the origin and production methods cannot be clearly identified, consumers should prioritize wild-caught cod or buy from suppliers with certified traceability. When even cod, a species considered the aristocrat of the ocean, struggles in industrial fish ponds, do you still believe that peas remain a symbol of natural purity and health? Unfortunately, that green color sometimes doesn't come from nature, but from dye. While many consumers choose mung beans and soybeans for their high nutritional value, not everyone is aware that some commonly sold types of beans may pose food safety risks. According to several articles published on international health platforms, there are concerns about beans produced in China not being entirely natural. Instead of being pure agricultural products, they may contain chemicals used to enhance color, shape, and preserve them for longer periods. Some samples have been reported to show signs of blending regular soybeans with green food coloring to counterfeit peas. In a few cases, sodium metabisulfite, a food additive used in the food processing industry, has also been found in the counterfeit bean samples. Experts have stated that this substance, if used uncontrollably, could negatively affect the respiratory system and cause irritation for sensitive individuals. The issue was brought to light in 2010 when a series of investigative reports, both domestic and international, revealed the presence of counterfeit beans in the domestic market in China. These products were widely sold at wholesale markets and even made their way into the global distribution chain, often without being easily detectable by the naked eye. Although the media has largely stopped covering the case, many analysts believe that the possibility of its re-emergence cannot be ruled out. While waiting for authorities to tighten the inspection process and clearly disclose origin information, consumers are still encouraged to choose products with clear labeling, certified quality, or from trusted suppliers. After discovering that beans could be dyed, color changed, people began to realize that not everything that looks fresh is safe. Then came mushrooms into the spotlight, which were once referred to as the gift of the forest, but now make many people uneasy due to the chemicals hidden behind their plump appearance. Among the agricultural products imported in large quantities, mushrooms from China are a notable mention. According to reports from international organizations monitoring food quality, mushrooms from this country have been found to contain pesticide residues that are not permitted for use in many countries, including the United States. Statistics from inspection agencies in the US show that over a third of the processed mushrooms consumed annually in the domestic market originate from China. Among them, canned mushrooms account for a higher percentage, but fresh mushrooms, especially shiitake mushrooms, have also begun to appear more frequently in major supermarkets. Several articles published in international media mention that some mushroom growers in China have used additives such as sulfur dioxide and formaldehyde to preserve the appearance, helping the mushrooms maintain an attractive look even after being stored for a long time. It is worth noting that many shipments, after being imported into the US, are repackaged under local brand names, making it difficult for consumers to identify their true origin. In several random inspections carried out by federal agencies, samples of mushrooms were found to be contaminated with impurities beyond the permitted limits. Some manufacturers were even accused of labeling their products as organic in order to build consumer trust and increase commercial value. According to nutrition and food safety experts, consuming mushrooms contaminated with chemical residues can cause side effects such as digestive disorders, allergies, or long-term damage if consumed regularly. Some sources have even warned that the mushroom market in certain parts of the world has seen counterfeit products, mimicking the appearance but failing to ensure safety for consumers. Moving away from mushrooms, another familiar food item that shocks many when the truth behind its attractive appearance is revealed is corn. Food additives are not uncommon in the modern food processing industry. However, when certain substances are believed to affect health if used beyond the allowed limits, choosing the source of a product becomes an important concern. According to several articles from international food safety platforms, imported corn from China has been mentioned in various discussions due to its connection to the use of sodium cyclamate. This substance is commonly used to enhance sweetness and maintain the natural yellow color of corn. However, according to information from U.S. food regulatory agencies, sodium cyclamate has been banned for use in food production in this market due to concerns regarding liver function when consumed regularly or in high amounts. Despite this, in over 170 other countries around the world, this compound is still allowed to circulate as a food additive. Some researchers believe that during the processing, a small amount of artificial sweetener may be added to improve flavor and color. While not all corn from China contains this substance, the lack of transparency in the supply chain makes it difficult for consumers to identify which products are completely safe. In fact, according to reports from several quality inspection agencies in the US, many shipments of imported food from abroad, including from China, have been found to contain pesticide residues or undeclared hormones. Although the number of violations does not reflect the entire market, it still highlights the urgent need for transparency in product information disclosure. Clearly identifying the origin of products, such as canned or frozen corn, will help consumers make safer choices for their daily meals. Experts recommend prioritizing products from reputable suppliers, with full certifications and labels that clearly state ingredients and origin to minimize risks associated with undesirable additives in food. Not only corn, but even a seemingly simple ingredient like salt is causing many people to rethink their daily consumption habits. Salt is one of the essential spices present in almost every kitchen, from simple family meals to sophisticated dishes in restaurants. However, according to some analyses published on international food safety forums, not all types of salt are of the quality that consumers might expect. Specifically, salt originating from China has been mentioned in several reports due to its production process not meeting the required standards for consumer food products. Some sources claim that certain batches of salt produced in China were found to contain significant amounts of impurities that are unsuitable for food processing. These substances include some heavy metals and industrial additives which are not permitted to be ingested by humans. While part of the product is classified as industrial salt, which is only intended for non-food purposes, there have been cases where some companies have introduced this type of salt into the market as regular table salt. According to information from inspections conducted by the U.S. Food Quality Control Agency, some mislabeled products have passed through international distribution channels and reach consumers without specific warnings. This has raised concerns about the transparency in the supply chain and the process of transnational distribution of goods. China is currently one of the largest producers of salt in the world, and according to researchers, the enormous production volume may make quality control more challenging. However, this does not mean that all products from this country are unsafe. The key issue lies in verifying the source and closely monitoring the production and packaging processes. After salt, the next thing that people find hard to swallow is eggs. Not because of the taste, but because in some places, people don't lay eggs. They pour them into molds to make them. A video clip once went viral on social media, causing millions of people to shudder. In the clip, two women are carefully pouring a thick white substance into plastic molds shaped exactly like eggs. The scene quickly spread worldwide, from Facebook pages in Ivory Coast, Indonesia, to YouTube channels in Pakistan and articles in Turkey. Most of the posts claimed that this was evidence showing that fake eggs were being mass-produced in China. However, according to the Shanghai-based news organization Jiefang Daily, the video actually recorded the production process of a type of slime toy for children shaped like eggs to make it more appealing. Although this clarification was made in 2017, the video's viral spread has not diminished. This highlights another notable reality: the growing concern of consumers about the quality of eggs imported from China, especially when some of them are sold widely in major supermarkets such as Walmart. According to many sources in the food industry, in recent years, some batches of eggs originating from China have been suspected of not meeting quality standards. Several reports published by independent inspection organizations have raised concerns about the use of additives during the egg preservation process, as well as the lack of strict supervision in the production conditions at some small facilities. Particularly, the practice of repackaging eggs locally after importation makes it difficult for consumers to trace the true origin. Although no official conclusion has been made regarding the presence of fake eggs in the international distribution system, the concern remains due to the lack of transparency in the supply chain. When products lack clear origin information or do not come with quality certification, the risk of consuming unsafe food is a real possibility. In this context, it is essential to exercise caution when purchasing eggs, carefully read labels, and prioritize products from reputable brands. Items that seem familiar and simple, such as eggs, can sometimes become a weakness in the consumption chain if buyers are not vigilant. And that is precisely why the question, "What are you eating every day?" has become more important than ever, especially when products with unclear origins are still present on the shelves of major supermarkets like Walmart. Food not only nourishes the body, but also reflects the way we choose to live each day. In a world full of camouflage food, knowing when to be skeptical is also a way to protect oneself. Be a mindful consumer before your daily meals unintentionally turn into a gamble with your health. The information in this video is compiled from reliable media sources and some personal opinions. However, they are not entirely guaranteed to be accurate. You should further research, carefully check the product ingredients, and refer to other sources for a more complete and accurate understanding.